Daycare worker accused of assaulting toddlers more than 100 times is awaiting her punishment. Good evening and thank you for being with us. Catherine Guzjaka pleaded guilty in Smith County Court to 6 charges of injury to a child with intentional bodily injury.
New tonight, a daycare worker arrested in Bainbridge. Yvette Thurston is facing felony child abuse charges for her alleged treatment of a toddler.
Now see, this one right here, this one hurts. We're talking about 2 separate daycare workers, one in Texas, another in Georgia, both accused of physically harming toddlers in their care. One was caught on camera kicking babies, and the other allegedly abused a child so badly on their first day that the baby had to be hospitalized, y'all. Like, what is happening in these daycares? Parents go to work thinking their kids are safe, and this is what's going on behind closed doors. This is disgusting. What's up, family? Welcome back to Insider Scoop Report, where we talk about the real stories that affect everyday people. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe, like, and share this video. And drop your city and state in the comments, because after hearing this one, I know a lot of parents are about to start side-eyeing every daycare in their neighborhood. We got one case out of Lindale, Texas, and another out of Georgia. And both of them show exactly how broken this child care system can be. Let's break it down. So let's start in Lindale, Texas, where police say a daycare worker was caught on camera kicking multiple toddlers during nap time. According to KLTV and police reports, the woman worked at a local daycare center that parents said that they trusted completely, until one of them checked the security footage, and what they saw, a nightmare. The video allegedly showed the worker walking up to sleeping toddlers and then kicking them in the stomach and legs to wake them up, not once, but multiple times. Can you imagine that? You think your baby's napping peacefully at daycare, but instead, somebody's treating them like a punching bag? What would you do if you saw a video like that of your child? Because I'm not gonna lie, some folks wouldn't be calling 911 first. Let's get into this news clip.
Injure a child is alleged on state and the indictment against you. Does that matter? How do you plead guilty or not guilty?
45-year-old Catherine Guzjaka entered 6 separate guilty pleas, one for each of the 6 toddlers she assaulted while working at the Pumpkin Doodles daycare in Lindale. Guzjaka was arrested last October after an investigation that started when a coworker was reviewing surveillance video from the daycare. An arrest report shows that coworker saw Guzjaka.
I just gotta pause right there. I'm disgusted by this. I really am. Do y'all think the daycare should be held just as responsible as the worker for not reporting it right away? Because it later came out that this worker had done this over hundreds of times. Like, this was going on for a while before she was arrested. Let's get back into it.
Kicking a 2-year-old boy in the back and reported it to the boy's father, who went to the sheriff's office. A deputy began reviewing more surveillance video and found more than 100 similar instances.
So after the footage came out, the worker was arrested and she was charged with multiple counts of injuries to a child, Police said she admitted to losing her temper, said she was frustrated with the children not listening. But let's be real, these are toddlers. They are 2, maybe 3 years old. They're not supposed to listen like adults. That's why you're there. And to make matters worse, the daycare didn't report it immediately. Parents say they were only told after other staff members started talking about it. You got one mom who told KLTV that she only found out because her child came home with bruises and started acting scared. And that's when she demanded to see the security footage, and everything clicked. The daycare has since been investigated by Texas Child Protective Services, and officials said they're reviewing whether it should even stay open. Meanwhile, the worker is out on bond awaiting trial. Would y'all ever send your kid back to a daycare that had a scandal like that? Even if they found, even if they fired the worker? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now let's jump over here to Georgia, where the next case is just as heartbreaking. According to WWNY-TV and police reports, a daycare worker there was charged with first-degree child abuse after a toddler was severely injured on their first day of daycare. Yes, you heard that right. Day one, the child's mother or father, I don't know who it was, dropped them off for their first day, and then within hours, got a call saying their baby had been hurt. The child was bruised, bleeding, couldn't even lift their arm. Doctors later confirmed the injuries were not accidental. How do you even process something like that? Would you ever trust another daycare again after something like that happened? Let's get into this clip.
Case started, police say, when a toddler at Little Blessings Childcare in Bainbridge was seriously injured. The accused worker was arrested and faces 3 counts of cruelty to children in the first degree, the most serious in Georgia, for causing malicious harm to a child. She's also charged with aggravated battery for injuring the child's eye. After her arrest, the judge approved a $44,000 bond meant to ensure she appears in court.
So the worker in that Georgia case was arrested and charged with first-degree child abuse, which means prosecutors believe the injuries were intentional. And according to reports, this woman had only been employed there for a few weeks and had no proper background check on file. Now let that sink in. Someone working around babies every day had not been fully vetted, and the daycare's excuse? They said it was a clerical delay that almost cost the baby their life. Do y'all think background checks should be mandatory for every person who even sets foot in a daycare? Janitors, cooks, everybody? Because I'll tell you what I think. I think that it should. Now, both communities in Texas and in Georgia were outraged, rightfully so. Parents demanding tighter laws, more cameras, harsher penalties for abuse in child care centers. And one mother told ABC News that she thought the worst thing that could happen at a daycare was a diaper rash, not something like this. And I felt that because these parents trusted these places to protect the most vulnerable people in their lives. Do y'all think daycare should have live camera access for parents to check in anytime during the day? Because I think they should. Now, the father did finally speak out because this is very sensitive, and for the respect of the families, I will not be showing any of that type of footage on my channel. But let's get into what the father had to say.
To watch it, it was very, very concerning, very confusing. It's hard to sit there and watch somebody do something to somebody so little. Like I said, that's not able to even speak back to you, not able to let you know what's wrong. It was his very first day there at the daycare center. He's never been away from me or his mom.
Now, for those who didn't catch me, I just want to reiterate that these are two separate cases that happen in different states, Texas and Georgia, but they do show a disturbing pattern. Low pay, overworked staff, a lack of training or oversight, which is creating the perfect storm for abuse. Some of these workers, they aren't even certified caregivers. They're just people looking for a paycheck. And when you put the wrong kind of person in charge of a room full of crying toddlers, this is what happens, even though that should not happen. Y'all, look at the pain in the dad's face. You can feel that. You can see that like he's hurting. And if you are a parent, then you know you could just feel the pain in his face, y'all. This is sad. Do y'all think daycare workers should be required to go through emotional or stress management training before being allowed to care for children? Also, because she's out on bond, the judge actually received threats. Let's get into that.
Mulholland warns that anyone making threats against the judge could face serious felony charges and prison time.
People get on social media and they think they have a law degree and they know everything about the legal system because they read one article, and they don't, and they're not. And we're going to deal with the defendant in this case, and she's going to be dealt with severely. But at the same time, don't threaten my judges, because if you do, you're going to be dealt with severely.
As the case moves towards trial in 6 to 12 months, authorities warn not to interfere with judges, and they can call DCAL for any help with childcare.
Now, this goes beyond two workers. The truth is, childcare in America is completely broken. Daycare workers are underpaid, daycares are understaffed, and parents are overcharged. So who suffers? It's the kids every time. It's like a system that is failing from every single angle. And until we start treating childcare like the critical job that it is, instead of just a babysitting gig, we're going to keep seeing stories like this. And it's truly unacceptable. Here's how I see it. These stories are every parent's worst nightmare. You wake up, drop your kid off thinking they're in good hands, and then by lunchtime, you're in the ER or at the police station. And for what? Because somebody didn't have the patience or the care or the heart to do their job right. We always say it takes a village to raise a child, but right now it feels like the village is broken and our babies are the ones paying the price. So what do y'all think needs to happen to stop this from continuing going forward? Stricter laws, better pay, hidden cameras, or all of the above? Yeah, family. Two different daycares, two different states, but the same heartbreaking story. Children hurt by the very people paid to protect them. And it's time to start demanding accountability from the workers, the owners, and the system. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think daycare should have 24-hour monitoring, or do you believe trust still matters in 2025? Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, because these are the stories people need to hear, especially the ones who think things can't happen where they live. This is Insider Scoop Report, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay watchful, stay informed, and hug your babies a little tighter tonight.